Ethan Malone stood at the edge of his father's auto salvage yard. Staring at a skyline he hoped to one day conquer. At 27, he had seen friends settle into comfortable jobs, but he knew deep down that the well-worn path of safety wasn't for him. His father, a practical man, had always told him, "Son, a steady paycheck beats chasing a pipe dream." But Ethan had a dream. He wanted to build a logistics empire, one that optimized freight movement in ways no one had dared to imagine. His first idea was a bust. He sank his savings into an app that promised to match truckers with excess cargo space to shippers in need, but no one used it. "It's Uber for freight," he had pitched enthusiastically. Investors laughed him out of their offices. He spent months licking his wounds, telling himself maybe he just wasn't cut out for this. One evening, Ethan met an old friend, Mike Caldwell, a self-made millionaire who had built a chain of manufacturing plants. Over dinner, Mike listened to Ethan's story and shook his head. "You're playing scared," Mike said, stirring his coffee. "You think failure defines you, but it doesn't. It refines you. You have to fail faster, or you'll spend your life crawling when you should be sprinting." Ethan took those words to heart. He analyzed his mistakes, refined his pitch, and pivoted his idea. Instead of an app, he created a hands-on brokerage service, manually pairing truckers with shippers while collecting data to improve efficiency. The first 6 months were brutal. He worked out of his truck, sleeping in rest stops between client meetings. He endured rejection after rejection, until finally, he landed his first major contract with a Houston oil supplier. The moment the ink dried on the deal, Ethan knew he was on to something. By 2011, his company Velocity Freight was doing $10 million in revenue. The cost of mediocrity. Despite his success, Ethan noticed something odd. Friends who once rooted for him had become distant. Some whispered that he had gotten lucky, others avoided him altogether. He realized something crucial: most people weren't really interested in winning. They were interested in not losing. Ethan thought about the thousands of people who had told him no. The ones who had warned him to play it safe. They weren't bad people. They were just tethered to security, unwilling to endure the brutal discomfort that real success required. Mike's words echoed in his mind. The road to success is empty because most people refuse to take it. So Ethan did what few would dare. He doubled down. Instead of celebrating too soon, he poured millions into building a data-driven logistics platform. He hired the best minds, read obsessively, and refused to chase vanity metrics. The result? By 2015, Velocity Freight was valued at over $250 million. The last laugh. One night, Ethan found himself at a high-end steakhouse in downtown Houston, where a networking event was taking place. He recognized a few faces, some from his early failures, others from the investor meetings where he had been laughed out. A former classmate approached him, drink in hand, and said, "Man, you really made it. I remember when you were pitching that app years ago. Didn't think it'd go anywhere." Ethan smiled. Neither did most people. As he walked out, he realized something. The people who had mocked his failures, the ones who had been too afraid to chase their own dreams, were still exactly where they had been years ago, fighting over scraps, hoping for a lucky break. Ethan, he had created his own. The world belonged to those willing to bet on themselves. And that night, he decided he wasn't done yet. Thanks for watching.